It has been 5 painful years behind bars for Matthew Munroe, the taxi driver who was accused of the murder of 22-year-old secondary school teacher Keisha Branch in 2017. Today, Munroe detailed the police's treatment to get a confession from him. He recalled being beaten and placed in a dark room.
They had me in a room all day without food or water, and then they came in and they first slapped me my ears, and then they put a bag over my head a couple of times, and then he put me to lie down and throw water in my face. And then at one time he was cuffing me in my back, cuffing me all the time into my back, and I started to pray, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." And I ended up finishing off the prayer, because when I said, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," and he hit me, and we started praying together. And then when he left, I said, "Father, don't let him come back to me." And when he looked wrong, then I get to see his face, and I know who's the person who did it. When the room was dark, I couldn't see who was the person, but when he opened the door and he left, and I looked wrong, and I saw his face, and I know who's the police officer who did it. I list to identify the police. I have to. My lawyers tell me if I should, but I could. His name is Christopher Danraj, and in addition, was Christopher. He and myself was in the room, and we were tumbling, and the room was very hot, and obviously he was perspiring a lot. So when they took me back to Prashad Nagar outpost, I asked my wife the shirt that I had on. I asked my wife to keep it, don't even wash it, and we have the shirt still now in the plastic bag. And if the DNA could prove of his DNA all over my shirt, if they could explain how that is so possible, because we were in the room tumbling and being assaulted by him.
He said he would not wish for anyone to be in prison.
It was stressful, you know. It was stressful. There's something that I would not like to happen to anyone. In prison, it is hard. It was a happy and a sad moment when I was told that I could go free, because after 5 years, my fellow inmates then become family. But once you can share the same building, eat the same food, and use the same bathroom, you come to family. But even though that was so, I still had to go home, and it was a mixed feeling. But I'm happy though that I had to leave.
However, Munroe said the case needs to be reopened and a forensic investigation done for the family to get justice.
Like my lawyer said, that forensic investigation needs to be done properly. Responsible police, responsible operation. The government need to take a step forward, because this nation is a growing nation, and we have all different investors coming to this country, and we need to get it right as a nation. And just by one phone call, but receiving a phone call should not be able to end you up in jail for 5 years. So, on moving forward, I think there's the way to go.
The lead attorney in the case, Dexter Todd, described his client's arrest and charge for Branch's murder as a travesty, which has to be corrected.
What has happened is not new. It's not new. It's something that is reoccurring. And I believe what Mr. Munroe's fight will be is that he is joining the voices of the persons who believe that the system had wronged them. And he is going to be calling on the system to, because it's quite an unusual stance for someone who has been incarcerated for 5 years to come out to say, listen, on the first door out, at victory, as someone will call it, he is turning back to say, I want the same police go back and reopen the investigation. I am prepared to go at them and give them a statement. I am prepared to walk with them. I am prepared to submit DNA. If they can exhume the body, I am prepared. I am prepared. I am prepared. You don't really get this. And this is because of the fact that Mr. Munroe has recognized that sitting 5 years in prison wrongfully is not something that one should take lightly. And that as a citizen of this country, the people who we have entrusted the responsibility to ensure that the right person is placed before the court are not doing what they're supposed to do. Because had they done what they were supposed to do, he would not have been a part there. Then how do you put a case like this, a case that was so publicized, how do you put a case of this magnitude with absolutely no forensic evidence before the court?
Key witnesses in the state's case were a no-show in the court, resulting in Justice Kissoon saying that he did not believe there would be sufficient evidence for the state to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. Branch was last seen leaving a nightclub on Lamar Street in the company of 2 police ranks. The police later arrested Munroe, who the police said was in constant contact with Branch.